Good morning, and thank you for attending this presentation. My name is Caroline Pogam. I am a PhD student in Toulon University in France within the Mediterranean Institute of Oceanography. The presentation will focus on wind tides and surface friction coefficient in semi-enclosed shallow lagoons. This work was carried out with the collaboration of Damien Sousse, Samuel Mellet, and Vincent Rey. The combination of coastal population growth, rising sea level, and changing weather patterns is expected to dramatically increase the vulnerability of low-lying areas to extreme sea levels. Extreme sea levels are generally associated with storm surges, that is to say, a rise in sea level resulting from the combination of atmospheric pressure reduction, onshore winds, waves, and other additional effects. While storm surges are commonly associated with the open sea context, they can also have a major impact on coastal basins, such as lagoons, bays, and lakes. The fetch in coastal basins is obviously much lower than in the open ocean, but the shallow depth amplifies the wind effect on the water mass and may produce surges of the same order of magnitude as oceanic storm surges. This research work is specifically focused on enclosed and semi-enclosed basins, where the wind is generally the dominant driver of water surface tilting, leading to the so-called wind tide. This study has been submitted in ECSS International Journal. A first theoretical prediction of wind-induced mean water level variations in shallow basins can be obtained by using the one-day steady form of the depth average shallow water momentum equation. This equation reflects the depth average local balance between surface slope and wind stress. This equation shows that wind tides, that is to say the wind-induced variation of mean water level, is expected to increase with increasing basin length, increasing wind speed, and decreasing water depth. CD is the dimensionless surface drag coefficient. It is a key parameter which has been the subject of a large number of studies. This parameter integrates a wide range of small-scale processes related to waves development, surface roughness, and atmospheric boundary layer stability. Here are some examples of studies proposing CD formulations according to wind speed. The questions we asked ourselves at the beginning of this study were: is the one-day theoretical estimation of wind tides a suitable approach? Is a common parameterization of CD valid in the case of shallow semi-enclosed basins? Berre and Vaccarès lagoons in the southeast of France have been selected in the present research work to specifically characterize wind tides in shallow basins. The two sites have been monitored to understand the effect of morphology, depth, and wind exposure on the mean water level dynamics. They are exposed to the same synoptic wind patterns with local adaptation, but showed significant differences in terms of size and depth. Berre Lagoon is deeper than Vaccarès Lagoon, enabling us to study the depth effect on the response to wind events. Both sites are exposed to strong bimodal wind forcing. The two sites both have two dominant wind forcings, north-northwest winds and east-southeast winds. Wind data for Berre Lagoon were provided by 3 early wind measurements at the Marignane Météo France meteorological station. Wind data for Vaccarès Lagoon were provided by early wind measurements at the Tour de Valas Météo France station. Wind statistics during both measurement campaigns are depicted on the top figure. Two dominant wind regimes are observed: northwest and north-northwest winds and southeast winds. Strong wind conditions can be observed at both studied sites with wind speeds that can be higher than 20 meters per second. Water level in Vaccarès Lagoon was monitored at two stations from July 2019 to August 2020. The measurements were carried out by two pairs of piezometers deployed in the northwest and the southeast parts of the lagoon to provide long-term water level measurements. Station locations were determined based on the prevailing wind conditions, and sampling period at both stations is 10 minutes. Water level data in Berre Lagoon are provided by HTMNet network, a network of instruments providing long-term water level measurements along the French southeast Mediterranean coast. The data used for the present study was recorded from February 2019 to August 2020. The two Bear Lagoon stations were located at Saint-Chamas and Le Jaillard-Bors, roughly in the dominant wind axis, to provide water level data every 2 minutes. A common hypothesis is to assume a spatially uniform wind over the considered basins, leading to a constant stress for a uniform bathymetry. The water surface is consequently linear with a constant slope. Using this approach, only 2 measurement points are required to characterize the surface tilting and to analyze its dependency on wind features and basin parameters. To study the free surface tilting, the 3 hours average water level zeta at the southeast station and the northwest station are used for both sides. The free surface tilting delta zeta is defined as the difference between zeta southeast and zeta northwest. The sign convention is therefore that if the northwest water level is lower than the southeast level, the free surface tilting will be positive, which correspond to northwest wind events. Assuming that both wind forcing and bathymetry are spatially uniform, the deformation of the free surface is assimilated to a linear slope S, simply calculated in practice using the water level difference delta zeta between 2 distinct measurement points separated by a distance L. The effective wind speed, VE, that is to say the projected wind component on the reference axis, is used in our study. VE is therefore positive in case of northwest wind and negative for southeast winds. Following this approach, a simple linear dependence is obtained between S and VE squared divided by H, where the surface drag coefficient CD can be inferred from the alpha coefficient. The two figures show the time evolution of the 3-hour average water levels at the 2 stations and associated wind speeds and wind direction at Marignan Station and Tour du Valas Station for Berre and Vacarès lagoons. A northwest wind event is detailed on these figures. Recorded water level data near the lagoon boundaries reveal the expected wind tide dynamics. Northwestern water levels are lower during northwest winds condition and vice versa. The magnitude in water level difference between the station increase with the wind speed. The left figure depicts the dependency of the surface slope on effective wind speed for the two sides. The direct relationship between wind forcing and surface slope observed in this figure confirms that the wind is a major driver of mean water surface slope in both systems. In weak wind conditions, slope of the free surface are very low. Increase of wind speed induces a nonlinear increase in the slope. The slope development appears symmetric in case of northwest or southeast wind. For the same winds, the slope is higher in Vacarès lagoon due to the shallower depths. The right figure depicts the relationship between S and VE squared divided by H. For both sides, the overall trend is well linear, which confirms the validity of the idealized approach, assuming spatially uniform wind stress and depth. Using a linear regression, values of alpha are determined and related surface drag coefficients are deduced. CD in Vacarès lagoon is higher than in Berre lagoon. This figure compares the predictive performances of the constant and 3 wind-dependent CD formulations against the in-situ data. In Berre lagoon, slopes are correctly predicted using a constant CD for wind speeds below 15 meters per second, but are underestimated for higher wind speeds in northwest conditions, such as Garratt's wind-dependent formulation. Such extreme wind conditions are better described by the Babanin and Makin formulations, and Wu's formulation shows intermediate performance. In Vacares, each of the three wind-dependent formulations significantly underestimates the wind tide, resulting in much poorer prediction than the constant CD approach. This result highlights the fragility of existing empirical wind-dependent formulations of surface drag coefficient, in particular when applied to very shallow lagoons. The depth effect affects a range of surface processes affecting the drag. To conclude, this study highlighted a correlation between the free surface tilting and the wind speed. Slope of the free surface versus the effective wind speed allows to notice a nonlinear correlation between the slope and VE. The stronger the wind, the steeper the slope. This observation seems symmetrical in case of northwest or southeast winds. For a given wind speed, the slope in Vacares Lagoon is higher than in Bear Lagoon. This suggests an impact of the depths. Therefore, we have removed the impact of the mean water depth by studying S versus VE squared divided by H. A linear relationship was found, allowing to determine alpha coefficient and CD. The use of a constant CD allowed a satisfactory prediction of wind tides for low and moderate winds, and shown the limitations of the existing parameterizations of the drag coefficient in such shallow environments. The higher CD value in Vacares Lagoon than in Bear Lagoon highlights that depth effect affects a range of surface processes affecting the drag. Other physical parameters that should be taken into account in very shallow lagoon could be the sea state and the so-called wave-induced stress, the non-stationarity of the wind, both in direction and speed, and also the bottom friction. High-resolution, high-frequency measurements of water levels and current in Vacares Lagoon will allow a better understanding of the wind tide dynamics. A particular attention will be paid on wave field development and the related surface drag coefficient to characterize more finely their contribution in the momentum balance in shallow lagoons, in order finally to improve our ability to predict and to mitigate wind tides. Thank you for your attention.